Thursdays. He hails very highly with the company. He also does a lot of training. As you know, he did the last training for the company recently, and he did one before that. And I always call him the ACN go-to guy for our co-founders. He's also a family man. He's a great dad and is a great father. I had a chance to spend some time with him, myself and Mr. Lance Wittenberg, when we're down in the Bahamas to watch how he interact with his daughter. And I tell you what, he is the kind of guy you can allow your mom, your sister, your grandmother, your daughter to go across the country in his car and will not fret about it. So without further ado, hailing from Southern California, he's also an actor and also very super busy. We're so glad to have him for the month. The one and only regional vice president platinum, the great Mr. Dean Tarrolly. Give him a hand.
How are you?
Excellent, excellent.
Very good. So, yeah, man, where did this month go? Right? Like, we just started and you guys are just about done with me. So, okay, that's cool. No problem. We're going to, tie everything up today, from this month. So you guys, let me start where I always start about, how myself, the co-founders, the other leaders, the other regional and senior vice presidents, how we feel about Mr. Thomas. It's interesting, man. I was listening to you and my friend Brian talk about this call that you guys had last night. And I've known you guys for a really long time. And it's interesting to me. I have stacks of notes to go over with you guys here. So here's my proof. If you look at your camera or look at the screen, I got stuff to go over with you guys today. So it's really interesting, you guys. I do want to have a conversation with you, and it's funny because I could name off all the people that have been on this call since I started doing this every other month, like a year and a half ago, or shoot, however long it's been. Obviously Julian's a good friend I've known for a long time. I think Sharian was probably on these calls back from when I first got started. Akiko, Catherine. I don't want to leave anybody out, but these are names I know. Caroline Baker. I remember from when I first started doing these calls with you guys, and this might get just a tad deep for a second, but just sort of bear with me. Lance, I think, has, Mr. Pion has, anyway. So why do I bring this up? So Al said something here when he just started. Sorry, you guys got something in my eye. He said something that I talked to my team about. He said something that I've talked to you guys about. So I want to be really crystal clear with you. When I get asked to do these calls, we got to get to know each other for a minute. And I understand that very well. It's like any kind of relationship that you have, a business relationship, a personal relationship. And it's important. It's important to sort of establish, it's important to establish a trust and a continuity between people, right? Roxanne probably will be able to tell you what I'm going to talk about after not very long here. So the thing that struck me about what Al said and what Brian said is something that I heard what they were saying. And I've been saying this to them, and I've been saying this to people. And quite frankly, you guys, I've been saying this to you for well over a year. And I'm going to tell you what it is, right? So if we go back, right, just for the last 3 months, I kind of named the months, right? And April was advance your business. It wasn't think like a winner. It wasn't let's get into your mindset. That's not what it was. Thursdays was advance your business. That's things that you can actually do to get customers and team members. And then June was not dream. It was call your shot. What are you going to accomplish? What is it? What you have to have a little bit of courage to call a shot, to go, you know what? I will have, I will be, I will earn, I will help, I will promote. Those are all action statements. Notice they're not suggestions. Those are action statements. Okay. This is important to understand this, you guys. This is what I've been freaking talking to you guys about for almost a year and a half, minus the first month or two. So when Al and Brian, two guys that I've known for a long time, are sitting up there and talking about, you guys, it's time to move from mindset into movement. It's time to do that. Well, you guys, what have I been spending the last Thursdays for a year and a half every other month with you guys about? It's all been about action. So April was advance your business. June was call your shot. And August is accelerate. See, when you accelerate, you have to be in action, because a body at rest stays at rest. A body in motion stays in motion. So when we talk about things like accelerating your business, if you're still in park, the view isn't going to change. If you're still in park, you're not moving anywhere. Does it mean that you can't do ACN? No, of course it doesn't mean that. But the definition of accelerate is to move faster to gain speed. The definition of accelerate is to progress from grade to grade, to move more rapidly than usual, to follow a speeded up educational program. That's what acceleration means. It's about action. You guys, the information that you're given is not for information's sake. So I want you to write this down, please. Please. All right, Al, shoot, I'm not two sips into my coffee with you guys here, and you've already got me all. Look, let me just tell you guys this. Look, here, by the way, for everyone, not including Al and Brian, because I already know their answer. Everybody else, do I have your permission to go locker room coach speak tonight or today with maybe my last training ever? I don't know. We'll have to see what Al says. Right, listen to me. Listen. I've said this before, but I need you guys to get this in your notes, because everything that they just said about having to do this new call and getting people into action and how to, that's what we have been talking about, at least at my Thursdays, for the last year and a half. So here goes. Write this down, please. Unapplied knowledge is useless. Unapplied knowledge is useless. If you learn about a diet, but you don't implement anything in the diet, what was the purpose? If you learn how to lift weights and you never get into the gym, what is the purpose? If you learn how to drive a car, but you never get behind the wheel, what is the freaking purpose, you guys? It is I would suggest and submit to you, it is a waste of time, because you're not applying what you have learned. Now, if you attempt to apply what you have learned and you don't get the results that you want, there is no coach that will hate you for that, because that can be adjusted. I want someone who's taking action. I want someone who wants to accelerate their business. That, ACN is such a great, caring, loving, inclusive, non-judgmental environment, which is great. And let me make a point. Watch this. Okay. So this is a month to accelerate. So Mr. Thomas, I'll need you to unmute yourself for a second. And we might need to unmute a couple of people really quickly. So here we go. I have it in my notes. Listen to me, you guys. I have it in my notes before I jumped on this call. Ready? Acceleration August. Who took action? And I said, Dean, I literally said, start here, right? Watch this. Like, God works in amazing ways. Watch this. Based on what Al said and what Brian Baker shared with you guys, I want you to listen to this. My next note is a question from me to you all. And here's the question. And we may need to unmute some people. Okay. I know for sure, Mr. Peon, we're going to have to unmute him and a couple others. So here goes. Ready? Here goes. The question is, who did what? 3 words. I want to know right now who did what this month of August. And I know that there were 3 people specifically that Mr. Thomas recognized. And I want to know who did what. because now this is past, you guys, for me, with you all, this has been past mindset for a long time. Time to be exposed. It's time. So here goes. So Mr. Thomas, look, I wish you guys could see it. I wish you guys could see where it says who did what.
We can see it.
Okay, perfect. I want to know who did what. Okay. So tell you what, very simple. Who are the three people that you recognized, Mr. Thomas? I know we had a point promotion of over 100 points. I think we have a new ETL. I would love to hear from them for a second if we can do that. Are we able to do that, Mr. Clemens, Mr. Thomas?
Yeah, it was Ryan Swallow with 110 points.
Let's start there. Sorry, I'm going to do it one on one. Sorry, Mr. Thomas. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Right.
Okay, so can we get Ryan unmuted? Is that possible? You guys, here's why we do this.
Yes, sir.
Ryan, first of all, let me tell you something. A, congratulations. B, thank you for stepping up and actually going after a goal and accomplishing it. So here's my question for you, right? For everybody, not just for me, for everyone, so we can learn, myself included, so we can learn, what was the goal that you hit?
100 points.
Why'd you do it?
I said I was going to do it. So I just, I started seeking out customers wherever I could find them. I want to thank Mr. Brian Baker, my brother and mentor, for telling me to work on, areas that I have strengths, like problem solving and helping people. So what I was doing is I was looking around for people with problems and then offering the services to help with their problem.
So here's my question for you. Number one, how did you feel when you set the goal to get it done?
I was a little nervous that I wasn't going to actually hit my goal.
Second question, how did you feel while you were doing it?
I felt good. I felt like I was taking steps towards reaching my ultimate goal.
How did you feel when you accomplished it?
Relieved, excited.
What's next?
200 points.
Done. You guys, do you freaking get what's going on here? Someone who was not at 100 points made a decision to go get 100 points. He was nervous. He didn't know if he was going to be able to do it. He had a mentor who helped him kind of like shape his thoughts, but it didn't stop there, right? It didn't stop at shaping your thoughts. Then he had to take what? Action. Had to do ACN. So I want to let you know, Ryan, thank you so much, brother. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing with me. My pleasure. Listen, you guys, that's ACN. That's ACN. Diving into Think and Grow Rich is an important thing in personal development to develop who you are, but you don't get paid for it. You'll get paid better when you're doing ACN as you become personally developed. How many times have I said to you, you get so many influences, so many calls, so many teachings, so many trainings, right? Narrow the focus, broaden the vision, right? So Ryan with Brian narrowed the focus to the goal to get done. So by the way, that answered one of my questions. I just want to know who did what. Like, why are we on these calls? Well, I can't speak for the other 4 days of the week, but with me, why do you guys put up with me? I want to know who did what.
Jamar Sharp with 100 points.
Hey, Jamar, how you doing, man?
Hey,
Jamar
can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much, just, day by day.
Awesome. Well, look, real quick. So, 100 points, huh?
Yes, sir.
How'd it feel to get it done?
It felt refreshing. I previously had 100 points and then I stopped working, and then I said, you know what, I need to get myself back into the next level of compensation and challenge myself. And so it just felt refreshing.
Awesome. How did you feel while you were going through it?
A little anxious, to be honest.
Okay.
And doubted myself. I was like, can I really do it? And, you know, I've done it once, but can I do it again? Kind of proving it to myself. So I was really nervous to achieve it again.
Let me tell you something about that. I want you guys to hear what he said. He did it and he had some questions. Write this down. Write this down. Once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a trend. Once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a trend. Right? So now watch this. When Jamar goes from 100 to 150, guess what? That wasn't an accident. That was not a coincidence. That is a
Trend.
and I want you to write this down. Write this down parenthetically to that. How someone does one thing is how they do everything. So I would tell you, we have very good reason to believe that between Ryan and Jamar, we have a couple 200-point earners coming. Jamar, really well done, man. Thank you for making my point of I wanted to know who did what. And you're in that category, man. Really well done. Well freaking done.
Thank you.
You got it. Yes, sir.
We have 2 more
Mark,
people.
thank you.
Mr. Payon, who's over in Japan, signed up last night, a gentleman in Mexico, by sending the video, and just asked him one question. Are you ready to get started? And guy says, absolutely.
Mr. Payon.
Hello, Mr. Tarrolly. How are you?
How are you, man?
Doing great, thank you.
So let me get this straight. Where are you right now?
Osaka, Japan.
Okay, so that means you left Osaka yesterday. You flew to Mexico, signed the guy up, and you got back to Japan in time for this call. Well done.
Arigato. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question, man. How did it feel signing that person up?
Awesome. I was surprised, but I just asked him, you know, if he was open to an opportunity. He said yes. I said, let me send you this video. I sent the video in Spanish. He looked at it. He called me back and I said, are you ready to get started? And he says, yeah, man, I love it. I like it. And he signed up. So
You guys watch this. Here's what's so great about this. Ready? Here goes. Mr. Pan, you've done what Al Thomas has trained people for years, including myself, for years. You found a red apple. That's it.
mm-hmm.
You found a person that was the right person. But there's a second part of it. And this goes to why we do the calls. Listen, you guys, Mr. Thomas, am I coming through?
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen to this. If you find the right person, but you're not the right person, done deal. It's not happening. It's not happening. You find the right person and you're the right person, done deal. It's happening. So what most people won't do is what Mr. Peon did, and that is be willing to go through enough people to find that red apple person. But that's not mindset. That's action. Mindset is not, you guys, mindset is not caring what their response is. Mindset is knowing that you have something phenomenal. How many times have I told you guys stuff like, you know, the only difference between you and I is I've had more people flake on me than you. I just don't care. The difference between Mr. Thomas and I, he's an SVP, I'm an RVP. He's had more people flake on him than I've had. That's all that means. So, you know, jump in the pool, the water's fine. You're good.
Mr. Tarrolly.
Yes, sir.
Mario Said might be on the call. I saw him earlier, so I just wanted to let you know that.
Outstanding. Outstanding. By the way, if you're on the call, and I can't see everybody on the call, if you're on the call, welcome to the family. Let's take the world over. Japan to Mexico, right? Japan to Mexico to Vegas and all points in between. Welcome to the family. Let's go build something big. And if you are on the call, you're in phenomenal hands with a leader like Mr. Payan. So good to go. Thank you for sharing, man. That's just awesome. By the way,
Thank you, sir.
you answered a question for me. Who did what? Well done. Well done. Go ahead, Mr. Thomas.
And last but certainly not least, because I know this call is going to inspire a lot of folks to get it done and wrapped up, and they're going to do some things. Last and certainly not least is Miss Patricia Bowman in Elk Grove, California, signed up for an IBO.
Patricia, where you at?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Mr. Dean Tarrolly?
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking before that person signed up, and they might go kind of either way? What were you thinking?
Well, actually, Mr. Dean Tarrolly, the person that I signed up had been wanting to sign up for quite a while.
Okay.
And when it happened, I was very proud, very, very proud that Sherry Harris decided to go into business for herself. She's
Awesome.
actually on the call right now.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
watch this. Check this out. Here's another thing I've spoken to you guys for over a year and a half on these calls every other month.
Yes.
I've said many times, it is not talent, it is timing. It's timing. But because people become because people lack patience. They lack professional patience. They write someone off, or they don't stay connected, which is something I'm going to talk about in a second. And Patricia, let me ask you this. When the person finally made the decision, and I'm sure you set up a time to get her business launched, how did it feel?
It felt wonderful. It felt wonderful. Made me very, very proud.
Let me ask you a question. When
He's in
that
the
person,
LA area with you, Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
whatever we can do to help, you let me know. Now check this out. Here's another important question. I want you guys to get this. When you were signing up your new business partner and you're excited to work with her, here's my question. Did you think about all the flakes that had happened? Did you think about all the people that said no? Or was it all about your brand new person?
It was all about my brand new person. I was focused.
Go ahead.
Help her in any way I could to make it all happen. She's actually became CQ yesterday by getting her Vivid home security.
Mm-hmm.
We're shooting for 200 points because if she gets one more, she'll have 5 services in her home. And I'm ecstatic and very proud of her. Maybe she can speak this morning.
Let me tell you this. That may be a possibility. Let me tell you this. Patricia, phenomenal job. Check this out, you guys. I'm going to give you the Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus for every issue you ever have in ACN. Ready?
Oh, ready.
But by the way, for the record, I'm not telling you to take things or not take things. I'm letting you know, for me, Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus is like manna from heaven. Like if I'm ever sick with anything, because y'all are never going to hear me talk about me. I have a little, here's words that you'll never hear come out of my mouth. I have a little cold. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. I'm a little under the weather. I don't even know what that means. But I do know this. Anytime I ever have anything like that, I'm telling you guys, I go to Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus. I'm telling you right now, for whatever reason, it works for me. I'm going to give you the Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus of ACN. You ready?
I'm ready.
Would you like it?
I would, yes.
And by the way, Miss Harris, you're an example of it. Everyone else, do you guys want it? A new rep. You know what cures every ill in ACN? A new rep. You know what cures every ill in ACN? Get 100+ points. I didn't say read about it.
Yes.
I didn't say go. I didn't say go dive in. Oh yeah, that person's so inspiring. Or oh, I jumped on another. I got on another call. That's not what this is. This is go out, get a customer, pique someone's interest, get them on the phone with the leader that you're working with, which is exactly what happened with all of the individuals that you just heard from. Patricia, I have zero doubt in my mind that you will be one of our next regional directors. I have no doubt in my mind.
I can see that, Mr. Dean Tarrolly. I appreciate that. You saying that too.
Well done. Very, very well done. Thank you for being willing to share with everybody. Appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you guys, what is my point from this? This entire time that we've been on, and I don't mean today, I'm talking about the entire time I've been with you, since the first time Al Thomas asked me to speak to you guys on Thursdays in a month a year and a half ago. Listen to me. All of those conversations, teaching, trainings, notes, everything that we've done was about the individuals that you just heard from. It was about taking information, add it to a vehicle, take action, and get a result. It's about taking information, adding it to a vehicle, taking action, and getting a result. That's what today is about. That's what these calls are about. So when I hear Brian and Al open up this call, sorry, you guys, like the Italians coming out of me, but it's like when I hear them open this freaking call up and this, yeah, that's what this whole thing is about. This whole thing is about, is that you guys, do you know, listen, do you know why we teach mindset? I'm gonna tell you why we teach mindset. Ready? I'm gonna get your mind. Let me get mindset done for the next, let me get mindset done for the next year and a half. Ready? Here goes. There's a roller coaster. Don't get on the huge ups and downs, little ups and downs. It's going to happen in life. It's going to happen in ACN. Number 2, you're sorting apples. That's it. Red apples, let's roll. Green apples will get your questions answered. Rotten apples, adios. Best of luck to you. Right? That's it. There you go. Mindset's done. Mindset's done. Now, how do you talk to them? How do you pique someone's interest? How do you get a customer? What's the language? You guys already know this. This whole thing is about getting you guys a result, about getting action. It does not surprise me one bit that Mr. Thomas opened the call the way he did. It doesn't. It doesn't. We'll include everyone, but we got to run with some runners. How about you? Right? By the way, I'll prove to you that you guys agree with what I'm talking about. Okay? I'm going to prove it to you. How would you all feel right now if the individuals that you just heard from were all on your team? Would you be fired up? You know what you have? You have new people joining your team. You know what you have? You have people getting 100+ customer points. You know what? You have people getting customer qualified in their first hour or two. How would you feel? I mean, come on. So let me say this is, oh man. But Mr. Thomas, you're probably like, thank God this is Dean's last one for a while, because I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, look. Okay. I'm debating really how deep I want to go with you guys. I said this to this group a long time ago, and it was really on my mind today. So I went back through my Al Thomas training notes. I went back through the notes that I made for this training, and I found something that I think is really, really appropriate, and now even more so appropriate based on what these leaders have shared. So write this down if you haven't in the past. And if you have in the past, write it down again. Here goes. You've heard, I'll tell you when to start writing. I'll tell you when to start writing. Okay. You guys have heard people say things like this to you, right? Listen to me. You've heard people say, I'm in it for the long term, you know, right? You guys have heard that, right? Okay. I've heard it too. Okay. A marathon, write this down. A marathon mentality is not a hall pass to not accomplish daily activities. A marathon mentality is not a hall pass to not accomplish daily activities. I'm in this for the long haul. It's a marathon, not a sprint. All that nonsense. You guys, of course it's a marathon. Of course, one day we all want to become senior vice presidents. Who wouldn't want to become a senior vice president? Who wouldn't want to go overseas to get a Ferrari shirt? Give me a break. A marathon mentality is not a hall pass to not accomplish daily activities. So what is the message in that statement? Daily activities, daily goals, daily things that we're going after, daily actions that are going to advance your business. That's what this whole freaking thing is about. Two last thoughts and I'm done. One last thought is There are no participation trophies. You guys, I can't stand that. Now, look, I'm not trying to be political in any way, shape, or form. I'm telling you, as you guys, as we have gotten to know each other, I do not like participation trophies. Hey, you participated. Great. No. Accomplishments should be rewarded. Why? Because anybody can sign up for something. We're talking about acknowledging and rewarding accomplishment. And I'll prove it to you. I could pick anybody's name on this call right now, somebody I haven't spoken to. Hey, Lewis. Is it Lewis or Luis? You don't have to unmute yourself or anything. You can just nod your head yes or no. Did you sign up in ACN just to be an ACN? Did you sign up in ACN to go to the top of the company? That's what I'm talking about. So here's the last thought, my last thought of the month. All right, here goes. So write it if you want it. You do not get paid for your time. You get paid for your productivity. You do not get paid for your time. You get paid for your productivity. So, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, if you've gone through the month of August and you have not signed up one customer and you have not had one person join the team, I'm letting you know that August wasn't productive for you. I didn't say it wasn't important. I said it wasn't productive. If you did have people join the team, if customers hit the books, I'm letting you know you had a productive or the beginnings of a productive season in ACN. And sometimes we turn a blind eye to the things that are obvious, and we need a coach that goes, you know what? She's right. He's right. Time to go. I'm better than this. I have more to offer than this. I have more skills and talent than this. How many times I've had this conversation with Baker. This is not a talent issue, you guys. This is an effort issue. Talent can be built over time. This is an effort issue. You do not get paid for your time. You get paid for your productivity. I want to see you guys all produce. By the way, everybody that spoke today, look how happy they were. You know why? Jim Rohn said this years ago. Production. Thanks, Heather. Production. You're producing. Roxanne Corlejo, one of my regional directors. I love this lady. I've seen what she's gone through. Mr. Thomas asked her to train on the call this week. Why? What, you guys, listen to me. Al did not ask Roxanne Corlejo to train on his call because she wasn't doing anything. Al very generously asked Roxanne what a lovely opportunity to train on his call because she is doing something, right? So it's I want you guys out of the stands and on the field. Time to be productive, and that's what I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope that I hope it was helpful. I hope the month was helpful. Just remember, you guys, you do not get paid for your time. You get paid for your productivity, which is getting a customer, getting a rep. That is ACN. And now you have all these events coming up, and you have proof from all of these people that you've heard from that it's doable. If they did it, you can do it. The only difference is they made a decision and took action, and a lot of people are still in park. Let's get you in gear. Mr. Thomas, that's what I got.